Iran thought they had the ultimate weapon, their masterstroke, their guarantee that the world, most especially Donald Trump, would finally bow to Tehran's demands. But then something happened. Something that the regime never imagined possible. Iran's ultimate weapon actually turned into Trump's ultimate leverage. For decades, Iran built what they believed was the ultimate deterrent, a fully militarized Strait of Hormuz. 20% of the world's oil exports pass daily through coastal missile batteries, underground tunnel networks packed with drones and anti-ship missiles, fast attack boat swarms, radar networks, covering every inch of that narrow 20-mile channel. The entire military architecture of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, the IRGC, was constructed around one single strategic premise: make the Strait of Hormuz so dangerous, so terrifying, so expensive to challenge that no American president would ever dare push Tehran to the wall. And for 47 years it worked. Not because Iran ever had to use it, but because the threat was enough. The threat of economic catastrophe, the threat of $200 per barrel oil prices, sending energy prices through the roof, igniting a mass cost of living crisis throughout the West. But Iran made one catastrophic miscalculation. They assumed Donald Trump would blink in the face of that cataclysmic scenario. He didn't. When Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz, they thought they were locking the door on 20% of the world's energy supply, 20% of global daily oil flows through the channel. Europe, Asia, the Gulf states, all hostage to that narrow choke point. Iran believed that move was their checkmate. What they never imagined, what they never conceived, was that that checkmate would actually turn into the single most fatal move Iran could make. As it turns out, Trump was actually waiting for Iran to make that move, because then U.S. forces could lock Iran in their vice grip. What Iran never anticipated was the American counter-blockade. The moment Iran shut Hormuz, the United States Navy didn't retreat, it counterattacked economically. Project Freedom was launched, a sustained U.S. naval and air operation that shepherded over 125 million barrels of oil through the strait right under Iran's nose. Iran's Mosquito fleet, its fast attack boats, its coastal batteries, they couldn't stop a single U.S. escorted vessel. Not one. Zero. Meanwhile, U.S. forces simultaneously blockaded Iran's own ports, cutting Tehran completely off from its ability to export its own oil. So Iran closed the strait to starve the world of energy, but Trump's counter-blockade turned that move against them like a jiu-jitsu reversal. Iran was the one being starved. Iran was the one. It was the U.S. forces' version of basically a rear naked choke. Iran jumped on America's back thinking it had control, and Trump locked in the chokehold from underneath, and Iran basically had to tap out. Iran's blockade cost them an estimated $500 million per day in lost oil revenue every single day, while the United States was running oil through the strait under their noses and forcing at the same time more nations than ever before to buy American energy. While all that was going on, Iran was hemorrhaging $500 million per day, day after day after day. Their central bank was in freefall. Their frozen assets were locked. Gulf states were refusing to backstop them. Even China, Iran's longtime economic lifeline, their chief financier, even China, ended up abandoning them as the war dragged on. The economic walls were closing in from every direction simultaneously. The math was brutal, and it was inexorable. The longer Iran kept Hormuz closed, the more Iran was destroying itself. That was the genius of Trump's counter-blockade strategy. It flipped the weapon. Iran had built Hormuz to be a weapon against the world. Trump turned it into a weapon against Iran.